Hey guys, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. So for the past 10 days, I was at the Sundance Film Festival, virtually, of course, and I watched 35 films. You can check out my reviews for documentaries, directorial debuts, and short films at my website, candidxcinema.com, which I'll put the link below. And I just figured, why not give you guys my top 5 films from the Sundance Film Festival. There were so many great ones, so many upcoming directors, and I really can't wait for everyone to watch the films on my list. So coming in at number 5, I have 892, directed by Abby Damaris Corbin and written by Abby Damaris Corbin, with Kwame Kwei-Armah, starring John Boyega, Nicole Beharie, the late Michael K. Williams, Connie Britton, and Salinas Levia. The story is about a Marine war veteran who faces mental and emotional challenges when he tries to reintegrate back into civilian life. So what I really enjoyed the most about 892 is, first and foremost, John Boyega's incredible performance as Brian Eastley. We see that the story is really grounded. This is a real life experience, and it is an emotional one. It's actually really heartbreaking to watch a veteran who has put so much time in protecting this country and serving the country that the Veteran Affairs Office just can't keep things straight for him in regards to payment that he needs. And we see in this film that he is not the only one who is being affected by this. There are hundreds of veterans that have come home and they're trying to live again. They're trying to live again through their PTSD, through whatever they went through. They're trying to get back into their own life, into society. And the system, which is obviously broken, is against them and works against them. And it's just really, it's a tough watch. It's tough to see what's happening there, and maybe it has gone unnoticed, but to address these issues is really important on screen. So John Boyega gave one of his best performances in his career, and I'm just excited for the roles that he's going to take after this, because this was his shining moment and I was blown away by his performance. Everyone in this film, from Beharie to Salinas to Connie Britton to the late great Michael Kenneth Williams, it was really strong performance-wise. This film is also contained to one location because, unfortunately, Brian Eastley, to get his point across that these veterans need help, that he needs his payments, and he wants to raise awareness to what's happening to not only him, he ends up attempting to rob a bank, and he holds the bank tellers hostage. He just wants to talk to someone who will listen to him and understand him in a way that will have his needs met. He just wants his money, but he also wants people to see what is happening and how corrupt the system is. So Damaris Corbin contains all of this to one location and keeps the level of tension. It's very consistent where it fluctuates, where John Boyega also picks the moments to, get a bit angrier or to tone it down a bit. Beharie does the exact same thing. I really love that they bounced off of each other in very tense moments. I think that it was perfect casting for the two of them, and they really, really stood out in this film. So what Brian Eastley does, what John Boyega does, is that he calls the news station, which Connie Britton answers the phone, and she listens to him. And that's the media. It's a journalist who can get his story out there. So you have all of these moving parts, and I think it was really well done in how everything was integrated to keep that tension throughout the entire film. I really, really think this is an important film to watch. And again, John Boyega, man, kudos to you. This was a really, really great performance on his part. Everyone worked together perfectly. All of these moving pieces just flowed and connected. The cinematography was great. The direction was really strong. The ending is just heartbreaking. And I really appreciate that this story is out there for other people to watch and understand what the system is doing. So I gave 892 a 3.5 out of 5 on my letterbox. Coming in at number 4, I have Cha-Cha Real Smooth, written and directed by Cooper Raiff, starring Cooper Raiff, Dakota Johnson, Evan Asante, Vanessa Burkhart, and Leslie Mann. So the story is about a young man named Andrew who works as a bar mitzvah party host and strikes up a friendship with a mother named Domino and her autistic daughter Lola. Oh man, Cha-Cha Real Smooth felt like a gigantic hug. That's the only thing that I can really say about the way Cooper Raiff directed this film, the way he wrote Andrew. There was just such warmth and kindness that filled the screen. And even though some scenes were really emotional, and Andrew was coming of age again at the age of 22, everyone says, once you leave high school, you'll know who you are. That is a lie. That is a lie. I am 26 years old and you're still finding yourself. You're still discovering who you are and your identity. And honestly, going into university or going into college, we all know nothing. We think we know everything at 18 and we don't. You grow in those years. And at 22, if you finish school at that time and you really have to go on your own and start your life, it is just terrifying. And you feel like you know who you are, but then you have to adult. You have to go into adulthood and you have to start adulting and doing things and taking care of bills and taking care of your car and going to work every single day and try to find a relationship and keep your friends close and do all of these things and balance everything. And it's really overwhelming. And Cooper Raiff, he just incorporated all of this into a second coming of age story that really just hit me. It really hit me. And I'm just so happy that this film exists. Again, like I said, it just feels like a warm hug because these characters talk about mental health. They talk about bullying. They talk about relationships and love and soulmates. And it's beautiful in the way that the story was told. But that ending just made me sit there while the credits rolled. And I literally had a breakdown crying after watching this movie. A lot of people won't connect with it, and that's fine. But for me, for someone who values connecting with other people and has felt that level of connection with someone that you can't really understand why you connect with them in that way on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, and it does resemble some sort of soulmate criteria, I guess. It's just a different thing entirely to believe in that and to have that connection with these characters as well. So there's so much that goes into living. And I think that Cooper Raiff really nailed it with the script. And it is a comfort film for me. And I really can't wait to watch it again and again just because of how it affected me and how it'll affect other 22-year-olds or 23-year-olds coming out of school. Even if you're 25 and coming out of school, like you'll still feel a bit lost and kind of connect with Andrew. And I think that's really important. So Cha-Cha Real Smooth, I rated a 4 out of 5 on my letterbox, and I can't wait for other people to watch it. Coming in at number 3, I have Am I Okay? Directed by Tig Notaro and Stephanie Alin, written by Lauren Pomerantz, and starring Dakota Johnson, Sonoya Mitsuno, and Kersey Clemens. So the story is about Lucy and Jane, who have been best friends their entire lives. Only when Lucy embarks on a personal journey will she face a test of her friendship and her sense of self on a path she may not be entirely ready to take. I feel like there's this ongoing theme where it's like a human connection and emotional connection. I know from Cha-Cha Real Smooth and now Am I Okay? And then another one that's on my list. It's all about emotional intimacy, friendships, relationships. Those are the ones that I really gravitated towards at the festival, apparently. So that's why they're on my list. I loved Am I Okay? I am a sucker for female friendships on screen. I want more of that good feminine energy. I love that. And I think that Am I Okay? Really captured that in a beautiful way. And I absolutely adore Dakota Johnson in this movie. I loved her in Cha Cha Real Smooth as well, but I wanted to save my little spiel of Dakota Johnson and her performances and what makes her such a great actress for Am I Okay? Because she played a character named Lucy who is basically coming out to her best friend at the age of 32. And I love that this is another story that doesn't stop people from discovering themselves after the age of 18, because we still don't know who we are. We can be 40 and still not know who we are, because everyone's constantly growing and evolving, and they don't want to let life pass them by if they want to live their authentic selves. So I saw that within Lucy, and I think that the storytelling was just really strong in this case. The script was fun, it was fresh. It was kind of like another coming of age film later in life. And I love that. I love that people can, make more mistakes and have room to make those mistakes and say yes to different opportunities, even though you're terrified of change. Like, I love all of that stuff because there's no right way to live life. And that's what Cha Cha Real Smooth shows you. That's what Am I Okay shows you. That is what another film on my list shows you after this one. So I just love that. The reason why I adore Dakota Johnson and what she's doing right now is that she is so sure of herself as a person and as an actress. She is just a very calm person. Her presence is very comforting, which allows these characters of Lucy in Am I Okay and Domino in Cha Cha Real Smooth to connect with the other characters and have viewers relate to her in a way where she is laid back, she is chill. It's a very internalized performance on both ends. And I think that she really nails the entire wave that comes over people when trying to figure out who they are in their identity. And I think that she just nails it in both of these films. And I love her chemistry with Sonoya Mitsuno. I think they really complemented each other. Mitsuno, who plays Jane, is a bit more of a hard ass. She's very headstrong. She gets what she wants. She says yes to everything. She's very optimistic. And she has been with Lucy for so long that they kind of complement each other and they just know what works and they know each other through and through. I just felt it was really natural, which is important when telling these stories. And it was honest. And I think that that's why Am I Okay is one of the best films from the festival. And it is also a comfort film. So I'm excited for other people to discover this and love it as much as I do. I gave Am I Okay a 3.5 out of 5 on my Letterboxd. I really enjoyed it. Maybe on another watch when I don't have festival fatigue, I'll probably bump that up. But for right now, I'm just pumped for you guys to see it. Coming in at number 2, I have Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. Directed by Sophie Hyde, written by Katie Brand, and starring Emma Thompson and Daryl McCormick. The story follows Nancy Stokes, a 55-year-old widow who is yearning for some adventure, human connection, and some sex. Good sex. I absolutely adored Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, just because of how brilliant Emma Thompson was in this. I also appreciated that this is a 55-year-old woman who is attempting to live her life in a different way, to expand on her knowledge about the society she's currently living in, to learn a bit more about sexual relationships, about intimacy at such a late stage in her life. I just really appreciate the fact that this movie exists, because for me, a lot of people think that a sexual relationship only means the sexual acts. And in this film, the focus completely shifts to a level of intimacy that is emotional, intellectual, spiritual. You connect with the other person in that way. The connection that Nancy has with Leo Grande is more than a sexual nature, because she's experimenting. She has been married for years and now she's a widower. So she doesn't know anything else. She doesn't know how anything works right now. She's never asked for anything from her husband that's like out of the ordinary, because in her generation, back in the day, it was really frowned upon to have women speak their mind about what they find pleasurable and what they would want out of a relationship. And it's always about what the man wanted. And sure, if the woman felt good, that's great, but they never fully explored extensive, like, different forms of intimacy, different forms of love or a sexual relationship. And once you're married, as we've seen on screen before, there's that level of repetitiveness that you can't really break free from unless you really push yourself to make those changes and to try something different. So in this case, she hires a male escort. So to see the other side of this, where they're trying to destigmatize the conversation around sex work. And I thought they did such an extraordinary job in this film, balancing both sides of female sexuality and then male pleasure as well. So you see that. And I think it was really well done. There's a great balance of just fun, awkward moments, intimate moments that are beautifully shot. The freaking tension and chemistry between Emma Thompson and Daryl McCormack in that one location of the hotel room did not feel like it was running out of energy because it was contained to that one room. I felt every single conversation was expertly written because I was hanging on every single word that they were saying and connecting with them on an emotional level. This film does not only exist for women to watch of all ages. I really suggest that men watch this as well. I don't want it to be labeled as like a chick flick, a romantic film. It is not. It is necessary viewing to understand relationships as a whole. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and I cannot wait for other people to find this gem. It is just so, so good. And I just need more of Emma Thompson. I really do. And guys, right before I get to my number 1, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have some film festival favorites that you've watched later on that premiered at a festival. Just let me know in the comments below, because number 1 sure is a doozy. So coming in at number 1, the film that literally made me scream at 2 o'clock in the morning into my pillow because of how messed up it was, how fun it was, how different it was. It was refreshing. The style was great. The direction was really strong. The soundtrack was awesome. This movie is called Fresh. It is Mimi Cave's directorial debut. It's written by Lauren Kahn. It stars Desi Edgar Jones and our boy Sebastian Stan. So the movie is about the horrors of modern dating, and it's seen through one young woman's defiant battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. Now, I will not spoil this movie. I haven't spoiled any of the other films. You know me. This one, you have to go in with an open mind. Try to avoid trailers because I'm pretty sure they're going to give a hint at it. But it is just such a wild movie. And I'm going to get into this little mini review. The only thing I can actually say about Fresh is that I never want to go on an online dating site ever again, or to even go out with someone that I barely know or just met. This movie will literally scare the living daylights out of women because of what happens. I think Mimi Cave's direction was fantastic. I thought it was really strong. The social commentary about women being pieces of meat, being objectified, and the messages that women get on these dating apps are just, it's very repetitive in how women are treated, and they're just looked at as like a one night type of thing. And it's always sexual, and it's never about actually getting to know the other person. And it's hard on these dating apps. Okay. It's really hard because there could be 10 guys that you could be having conversations with, and they almost always end badly, even before you even give them a chance to go out for a coffee or whatever, it just ends badly. It ends abruptly. One person says the wrong thing, and it's always almost sexual if you don't want that kind of relationship. It just sucks. I really think they nailed the social commentary about dating in today's generation. I think that they got both sides of it extremely well, the intentions of men and what ends up going through a woman's head. The social commentary was well written. The performances by Daisy Edgar Jones, and oh my God, Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan, Sebastian Stan. You guys think that you've seen his best performance as like the Winter Soldier or in I, Tonya? Wait until you see Fresh. Fresh is going to blow your mind just because of Sebastian alone. I'm just so proud of him. I really am, and how far he has come in his career. And this was such a great role for him to kind of showcase how talented he is and how many characters he can come up with, and the sides of those characters that, you know, he peels back slowly. And I'm really trying not to give anything away, but this film, avoid the trailers. All I'm going to say is that Fresh is not for people with a weak stomach. The things that happen in this movie are very unexpected. There are some really strong twists, and it just left me speechless. And the reason why it's number one on my list is because of how different it felt, how refreshing it felt, and it's just a unique little film. And I really appreciate what Mimi Cave did with this. I really like her style. I gave Fresh a 4.5 out of 5 on my Letterboxd. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can let me know if you plan on watching any of these. If you have watched them, let me know why you love the Sundance Film Festival, why you love festival season. You can find all the links for my reviews below, and obviously on candidxcinema.com. You guys can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.